Beijing, China's capital and its cultural nerve center, a modern metropolis with traditional roots. And now it becomes the first city in the world to host both Summer and Winter Olympics. After 14 years, the biggest sporting extravaganza returns to Beijing. Thousands of athletes from around the globe will compete in over 100 events at 3 zones. Cheered on by over 1.4 billion Chinese citizens and millions abroad. CGTN will bring you a ringside view of the historic event. 2022 Beijing Olympics, the games that matter on CGTN. See the difference.
Hey guys, happy Lantern Festival and welcome aboard our Winter Games Express as we bring the latest news from the games aboard on the go. I'm your host, Julian Wagen, and also today I'm joined by Richard. Richard?
Well, thank you for having me. I mean, it's my biggest honor to have having me and enjoy the beautiful view outside the tree and talk something interesting but funny story inside the village and some amazing and brilliant athlete of this year's Winter Olympic Games with you guys at this last day of Chinese New Year holiday.
And you guys might be seeing a familiar face today right here. Rome is coming back from Valentine's Day.
Yes, back from Valentine's Day yesterday. Pleasure to be here, guys. Happy Lantern Festival to everybody.
Happy Lantern Festival.
Reunion.
We are coming to you live aboard the 5G high-speed bullet train, which is going between Zhangjiakou and Beijing, two of the main venues, locations for this year's Winter Games. Now, I was told that there is 5G network available throughout the entire commute, which has made it possible for us to be the first 5G-enabled bullet train, high-speed train, remote studio aboard a high-speed bullet train in the world. That is impressive.
We're making history, Julian. Can you believe it?
We're making history in the arenas and also on aboard the high-speed train.
Exactly, the first time ever.
And it's also, I was very, very impressed today. I hear the connection is so good that we won't have any interruptions, or any sort of coffee break in between. So we're sipping coffee right now. Have a sip of coffee first if you have your coffee. Rome just gave me the best coffee this morning. I was so shocked how good the coffee is on this train, and so is everything here. But, I want to give you, before we delve into our discussion today, it is so good. I want to give you the lowdown on the games, the results of our games, the game yesterday. First of all, Chinese freestyler skier Guilin started her second bid for an Olympic medal by coming third in the women's slopestyle qualifying yesterday. And China's Hua Mingming finished 6th in the first Olympic women's monobob, while the U.S. Kaylee Humphrey claims the gold medal. The Netherlands set a record, winning gold in a 3,000-meter short-track speed skating relay, while China ended up with the bronze. And just last night, Chinese snowboard Xu Mengtao won a gold medal, and I think we've got clips or pictures of her showing her, being hugged by Ashley Caldwell. At
American
the games,
athlete.
and that was a very emotional moment for everyone. I think it was the emotion overflowing from the Valentine's Day.
A moment of reunion, right? So
Exactly, which is what the Lantern Festival is all about. The Lantern Festival today is special because it is the Lantern Festival, which is the last day, sort of official end to the 14-day-long Chinese New Year or the Spring Festival. And Lantern Festival is special because it's also known as Chinese Valentine's Day, because in the ancient times, people actually couldn't go out at night. There were curfews in ancient dynasties. And the only time when people could go out was on Chinese Valentine's Day, or around this time, especially for women who stayed indoors most of the time. And this was the only time when they could go out and moon gaze and watch the lanterns, and also meet potential suitors and people they adored, and hence this was called the Chinese Valentine's Day. It was a time of reunion for everybody.
Right, and it was a moment where they were matchmakers and trying to get couples to get together, and the men generally had lanterns, and the brightest lantern was actually a sign of good luck and hope, and that's how they would court women.
With a lantern.
With a lantern.
Would you date me? With a lantern.
Today.
Did you pass around any lanterns?
Not really. No, to be honest, no, not really. But I'm looking forward to the riddle part.
Exactly, and that is a big thing because the riddles are a big stable event on Chinese New Year's Day. I've actually people used to believe that solving riddles called for the strength of the tiger, and since this is the year of the tiger, I think it shouldn't be too hard to get some riddles right. Our producers were very generous and they prepared a few riddles for us. And you
Play
wanna
some game.
I'm a bit nervous.
Okay, we only got 3,
Games
so choose one. It can't be that hard,
Okay,
right? It's a year of the tiger.
I'd like to Rum to
You
do
want me
this
to choose?
part.
Okay,
Okay,
I'll start
you do
with
the honor.
one. Okay, it makes
I will
sense.
rate the first part
Question
of the
one.
riddle to
Make
the
sure you don't
guys.
have the answer. Wait, let me see.
This is Q.
Okay,
This is
that's
that's
Q.
Q.
Okay, good.
Okay,
QA
here you go,
time.
Richard.
So guys, ready? The first question is, what tea do ice hockey players drink? What tea do ice hockey players drink?
Well, if
like
they're in
red
China, they
tea or
drink
green
tea, I guess. I don't know.
Iced tea.
I think
Iced tea,
I
iced
think
tea,
I
that's a
think
good
I
one.
know
That's a good
the
one.
answer,
I
but
think we have to
keep it.
we have to qualify this question. It's more precisely what tea do ice hockey players drink on ice? If that gives you a
On the
hint.
rink, yes.
On ice, yeah.
Yes.
So, what about our viewers? Maybe you guys can comment on the different platforms
Leave
what you
your-
think the answer is.
Yes.
Leave your comments, and we'll get back to the answer later on in our show. Before we move on, I want to say that I remember for Chinese New Year, every year my grandpa he would write couplets for Chinese New Year. And the thing that he did for Lantern Festival is sometimes he would actually write lantern riddles for us in calligraphy for us because he was a Chinese calligrapher. And I think my grandpa, he would be so proud to know that Chinese calligraphy actually plays a very important part in the Winter Olympics this year. And we have our reporter Qiu Yu telling us why.
The inspiration of the emblem design comes from the Chinese character for winter, Dong, a stylized calligraphic rendition of the Chinese character, which infuses Chinese culture with contemporary artistic elements, projects a new image of China in a new era. The upper part of the emblem, Dong, resembles a skater and its lower part as a skier. The ribbon-like motif in between, full of rhythm, stands for the host country's rolling mountains, games venues, ski courses, and the skating tracks. The ribbons, as artistically expressed in the emblem, give a touch of festivity and are the indication that the games coincide with the celebrations of the Chinese New Year.
Guys, I'm just blown away by the fact that the emblem of the Winter Games is actually inspired by Chinese calligraphy, by the word winter, right? I mean, I had no idea. I always thought when I saw it, I thought the emblem looked like, an abstract amalgamation of all the winter sports I believe I saw it goes like this, and so
It's also like the mountainous regions of Beijing,
Exactly.
and it also depicts different colors. So the blue is actually a color for dreams, the future, and the red and yellow symbolizes Chinese youth, vitality, and passion.
Oh, I like
And,
that.
Interesting note was that the person behind this is called Cun Zhen, and his work of art, actually, this logo, was selected from a total of 4,500 different other logos that were submitted by other people.
He won the gold medal.
He
Speaking
won
of
that
winning the
one.
sport. Well, it's almost like guessing riddles, looking at that emblem right there, because it's so packed with so many significance and also meanings and wishes and dreams of people, of all the athletes. And speaking of Lantern Festival, I want to cross over, talk to our reporter Yan Meiyi right now. Hi, Meiyi. She's been reporting
Hi, how
from
are
the
you guys?
events.
Hello, Mei.
Hi, Mei.
Now, Meiyi, we've had incredible snowfall yesterday. We've been blessed with this incredible snow, real snow, because we've worked hard on the artificial snow to provide for the athletes. Aside from this generous gift of snow god, what else are you seeing, as in terms of Lantern Festival celebration and atmosphere?
The snow is actually beautiful yesterday. I think it came right on time for the Lantern Festival. But I think they're trying to implement as many decorations as they can, and hopefully, they change up the menu at the MMC, which is the main media center, every day. So hopefully, I get to eat some yuanxiu today, which is the sticky dough dumpling, I would say, or whatever you call it. But it's the tradition and what you eat on the Lantern Festival. So hopefully, I can continue that tradition and have some of that.
Great spirit right there, Meiyi. And I have to say, I'm really proud of you, and as you might be of yourself too, to have a brother who's actually competing in the men's hockey team on behalf of China this year. How's he doing right now?
Well, of course, I'm very proud. I think over the years, his hard work finally paid off because it was his dream, playing in the Olympics. I think that's every athlete's dream is to represent your country at the biggest world stage possible. So, congratulate to him. It's such a big achievement, and it was really nice to see him. We were apart for so long, and growing up we were always in the same city, we were always together. So this is, speaking of reunion, this is a reunion after almost, I would say, a year.
And we actually have a video of you meeting up with your brother earlier. Let's take a look at that video.
Omar, he knows, eh?
Yeah.
Spencer knows.
So the bad news.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
There she is, there she is. What's up, Omar?你没事吧？
May, when was that?
So that was the first day that I arrived at the close bubble, and he actually happens to have a practice. So I had to just run in there right after his practice to give him a big hug, because his team was actually in Russia for 6 months now. And before that, Team China was actually in a close bubble already to train. And I guess to keep the athlete focused on their practice, they weren't allowed to, come back home. So that's why we were apart for so long. And it was so nice to finally see him, and especially not anywhere else, at a place that he can, his dream do come true. So it was a very special moment, I would say. And I think it's special for both of us too. Me being a reporter and get to share those moments with him. So that's, I would say it's a very special reunion, and I'm really happy about it.
Especially indeed to have a sister cheering him on the sidelines of the games. So I guess I take it you won't be able to meet up with your brother tonight for the Lantern Festival.
No, unfortunately, but I do get to see his game today. He's game 5 coming up against Canada. It's going to be a hard game, but I'll be cheering him on for sure.
Terrific. But I do know, it's not, there's a lot of hope in the air for your brother, because he's not, even though he can't meet up with you, but he's meeting up with a lot of his friends and teammates from before. The Lantern Festival, as we know, is all about reunion and meeting friends and people you adore. And he's able to meet up with his old friend, teammate, McBain, right?
Yes. So Jack McBain actually plays for Team Canada. They played together when they were very young, back when he was playing minor hockey. So it's even though they're playing against each other, but Eddie even told me that it's really nice to just finally see an old friend, and to be able to play at such a young age back then, and now together playing on the Olympic stage. So it's really nice to see his old friend. And Eddie actually told me that he had a chat with McBain outside of the change room, because the Chinese change room was across from the Team Canada change room. So they had a really nice talk, even though they were playing against each other in game 3 and today again. So, I mean, he's really happy about it, and I'm happy for him that he gets to have a little reunion with his former teammate as well.
Do you think he's gonna make it tough for his old teammate, or he's gonna make it easier, go easy on him?
Well, Olympic is no joke, right? So they will go full out and play against each other, but I know that off the ice, they're still good buddies, and I'm just glad that they have that relationship, and it's a very special bond for sure.
We're looking forward to that game right there. And you were so jealous of you because you were able to, attend the games being the closed bubble. Who have you talked to? Who have you met so far?
I actually get to interview Yu Baiwei today, who's actually the team captain of women's hockey for Team China. So I'm really happy and excited about that. I'm seeing her today in the afternoon. So stay tuned to the video, and hopefully we can have a good time and talk about her performance so far and how Team China performed so far, because Team China did great playing all those games, even though they didn't make it to the top 8, but they still did awesome, and I had a really good time watching them play.
Okay. Well, how are we doing time-wise with the producers? We're good? Because before I let you go, Mei Yi, I want to ask a very, a question that I've been very interested in myself, which is food. How's the food at the Olympic Village? I'm a foodie, guys.
Honestly, honestly, same. They have a variety of food. So they have a little bit of Western food like burgers, fries. They have nuggets, and they have a bunch of Chinese food as well. So either you like any type of food that you can find at the MMC. And my brothers have been telling me that they're eating great at the Olympic Village as well. They get variety of different types of food. So I'm glad that both of us are staying healthy and staying not starved.
Staying healthy and staying fit and staying happy, hopefully, on this Lantern Festival. Thank you very much, Mei Yi.
Thank you, guys. Happy Lantern Festival.
Happy Lantern Festival. And at this time, I want to bring our attention back to our studio right now, for a moment of tribute, because we've actually got somebody who, could have become a very, very good professional athlete in ice hockey, but instead he chose a career in journalism so that he can share the love and the joy of sport with more people. And my tip of hat to Richard.
You hit a lot of
Richard
praises on me. Wow, let's talk about something about ice hockey.
I know, because you grew up actually playing hockey, ice hockey, at a very young age.
Years of age in my hometown.
Wow.
In Harbin, right?
Right, exactly.
Okay. And having the Winter Games must be very, very exciting for you.
Popular in my hometown, yes. And I want to say something about our China national team at Winter Olympic Games. And maybe you ask, the first time you look at the roster, you may ask, Richard, why do we have a lot of English name on it? Because from this year, we started using naturalized player at Beijing Winter Olympic Games. That means these players, maybe they were born or raised in
outside of China,
maybe in America or Russia, at a young age learn the game, and they went to other countries with their parents. We use a lot of these skaters in our China national team.
It's a bit like basketball, football also has that. I mean, not only like China, a lot of other countries do the same thing.
It's a very common thing to see in sports nowadays.
Right.
I wonder if they can do that for us as well. Naturalized hosts, naturalized anchors, naturalized, everything. China's becoming, I think nowadays, because it's such a globalized country, world right now, we've seen such a migration, from different countries and people playing for. It's not about who you, identify with as much as what you can offer to people. It's the teams. It's a team spirit, but also it's the Olympic spirit.
Right. And then many young idols, like many big names, maybe like IDN. IDN is a good player, and Ethan. And let me talk a little bit more. Zheng Enlai. Zheng Enlai has the same first name like our premier Zhou Enlai.
Right.
And they were born on the same day, the 4th March, but not the same year. And plus, his grandmother sized him a hero and influence. Therefore, the whole family named the guy Zheng Enlai. And many stories, many experiences like this. I was in deep thought. I would think about what is sport, what's the meaning of sport. I mean, in my point of view, the best education is sport. Mentally, physically, technically, it's more than muscle training. It tells people how will you face your life, even failure, even fail the exam, lose your dream, frustrating or upset. No, never give it up.
It's all about getting back up.
Right. Stay patient. All good things will come. Make a mistake, and all good things will come. Wait, and never give it up. That's what I learned from it.
That is such words of wisdom on this,
That's huge.
Lantern Festival. We don't need to be guessing riddles. We should be listening to these words of wisdom right now.
Power.
Power to you, Richard.
Yes.
Power to you.
Power to you.
And also, on the slope, people think it was a bit of a shocker to see Canadian snowboarder Mark McMorris coming in 3rd in slopestyle, right after Chinese snowboarder Su Yiming, right? Actually, Mark, he, who's a veteran snowboarder, he is Su's idol. I wonder how Su might feel about the results right there.
Do you want to talk something about Shaun White or just Mark Morris?
Just Mark Morris right now, with the CGTN. If you are, you have an idol coming in 3rd right after you, how would you feel about that, guys?
Like Su Yiming, I followed this young man from my colleague who worked for IMG. and like many young, brilliant female or male athlete, they're skaters or snowboard athlete. They were born outside of China, and they can balance study and their sports career. Some of them I know they are straight A students. They study very hard, work hard, and play hard. And I think this set a very good example for now the Chinese junior families for us to learn to follow. That's what I learned from it.
Well, there is a saying in Chinese called 高处不胜寒, which basically means that you can't stay at the top forever because life is cyclic. There is the highs, there are the highs, and there are the lows. And so,
down.
There are triumphs and there are also moments of, adversity. And I think I've seen Mark McMorris and also seen some of the other athletes on the field, this year at the Winter Olympics. You really get a sense of what it means to be true champions, because the true champion doesn't just stay always on top, but they're also able to face the adversities of the lows and moving gracefully throughout the cycle of life.
Champions are lonely. They're very lonely. They must stay with themselves and practice many times alone, and it's a process of fitter training. They must accept the truth. You can't win every time, but when you fail, how will you face?
Well, our reporter Chen Ziyuan, she talked to Mark McMorris actually after he won the bronze medal, and he talked about how he feels about Su Yiming. Let's take a listen.
Chinese fan actually talk about Ming seeing you as an idol. You also respond to that during the press conference. How do you see that he is growing so fast, and you said he become a very strong snowboarder? How do you see that friendship comes along?
Ming Su rode absolutely amazing. I think him and I should have been one or two, truthfully, and so does the whole snowboard industry. But it doesn't always shape out that way with a judge sport. It's tough to judge snowboarding. It's sometimes personal preference. It's not just about rotations or execution. There can be a lot more that goes into it, and that's why you don't ever want to get hung up on your place on the podium. You want to be stoked on what you did and the tricks you did and what you came there to do. And I came there to do that run. I even remember coming in 2017, I think it was. So I had already been coming for 7 years. And sure enough, there's this little kid that is absolutely in love with snowboarding. And I was just like, this kid's going to be something someday. He's going to be so good. He cared about the sport. He wanted to be a part of it. And he got really, really good. I think Ming has a very long career ahead of him. And I'm super proud of him. And I'm proud to play the role of an idol or a hero. That's a heartwarming thing.
And we're now joined by reporter Chen Ziyuan, coming to us via Zoom. Ziyuan, I mean, hearing a champion talking about his successor like that, I mean, that is the spirit of a true champion. What were your overall impression when you talked to him?
Well, speaking of that, I actually talked to McMorris at the studio, and the footage was cut out, but I also want to share with you that he actually specifically designed his snowboard, and there is a panda bear on his snowboard. He called that panda bear is his spiritual animal, so that's a strong link to China, and he has been to China multiple times. So being here again, and he said he actually see a lot of the snowboarding population is growing every time he comes here. So it's very exciting. I love to talk to him because the mentality of such figurehead we call in snowboarding, they are just care about their tricks, they care about their skills, they really enjoy the sport itself instead of focusing on the medals and podium itself. Yeah.
And
great sportsmanship.
Also, Ziyuan, you are covering the figure skating and short track speed skating events as well. Did you run into any idols?
Let me put it that way. So I actually learned figure skating specifically for this Olympic coverage. So I've been following figure skating and short track speed skating. I can't say if I see any idol or someone. I want to share with you that I have followed a few of the athletes very closely, including Shimon Tao you talked at the beginning of the show. It's her fourth time competing in the Olympics, and I've been watching her the whole time. And also, I think one of the really figure skater everyone is watching is Yuzuru Hanyu, and he said he's not planning to retire yet, but maybe he will be skating for next Olympic. But he said when you see his attitude being on the ice, I feel like it's so pure that all this athletes, I want to say, they become like artists, that they really care about their craftsmanship, they really care about the sport itself. This is, I think, way beyond just about the sport and competition itself. So seeing them in front of me and also seeing them competing really makes me feel that sports doesn't really have any boundary. I'll even talk to athletes, alpine skier from Kosovo yesterday, and they say it's amazing to be here in China, getting to know this country. It's something that really beyond word, and they willing to share their wisdom of skiing and also snowboarding as well as figure skating to me. So I'm very lucky to be here.
Well, you are very lucky to be there, and we're lucky to have you joining us on this Lantern Festival. Thank you very much, Yuan. Happy Lantern Festival. And now I want to bring it back to our studio for the ultimate reveal of our riddle number one.
What was the question? What was the riddle again?
The question again was,
What
tea do ice hockey players drink on ice?
On ice. So
On
it's
ice.
not ice
Show me
tea.
the answer.
Okay.
I think I know the answer.
Okay, take a guess. Go for it.
I think that word I use most frequent last
Because
year.
you're a sports commentator.
ESPN announcer last year at Worker Stadium. That's penalty.
Yes, the answer is
Penalty.
I'll give you the
penalty.
answer. It's penalty.
Penalty.
It's penalty.
Because penalty. The worst tea do you want on the
I use a lot. This word like team number, name, which player, 2 or 5 minutes penalty for what? For hooking, for slashing, time at 30 or 25. I'm very familiar with penalty.
With penalties.
It's not a tea I would order on the anywhere.
Let's go on to the
But I
second
don't-
riddle.
Oh yes, let's go on to the second riddle.
one.
Okay, so second riddle. What sport can also be eaten?
What sport
can also be
eaten?
Okay.
Okay.
Sport
Of course.
can also be eaten.
Think about it, okay? While you're mulling over the question, I want to talk to somebody who's competing in both the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics as well as the 2018 Pyongyang Winter Olympics. China's snowboard halfpipe athlete 邱冷，邱冷你好，欢迎加入我们的冬奥高铁。我们这次啊，我们不仅仅一直在非常紧密的关注你在这个赛场上的这个表现。
Welcome to join us on board for the Winter Games Express. We are following closely about your performance in the games, and in 2018 we reviewed a Cineblog from you. It's a group photo of about 10,000 people, so that was quite a scene. And what did you feel about it? In the opening of the 2018 Pyeongchang Winter Games, I took a photo. When I was waiting for the athletes in the backstage, I saw my idol, and I was very excited, and I asked whether I can take a photo with him. He said yes, so we had this photo. I heard that ever since that photo, every year you will meet an idol of yours, and you take a photo with them. Is that true? Yes. Can we take a look? This is another one. Also in 2018 Pyeongchang Olympic Winter Games, that's on the opening ceremony. Another one. This was taken 3 months ago in Swiss. We were training together, and we talked about the possibility of competing in Beijing, and we promised each other about another photo once in Beijing. This is another training in 2022 Beijing. Training with all of those masters, did you learn something? Of course. Even though he's 35 years old, he's competing hard on the venue. The spirit is worth learning for every youngster, every athlete, including the starters. And we know that this year, Shaun has missed this medal, and what did you feel about it? Even though he had some mistake in the last run, he's still legend. And I cannot deny that fact. Now let's get back to the studio.
I hear that Shaun is actually a
And then
legend
we
with
will
an
talk more
extraordinary
with
life,
Chiu.
not just on the sports field, right? He has an extraordinary life story as well.
As far as I know, Shaun, I set him as my hero as well. He was born out of heart disease, heart condition, and I saw his interview. His mother said, "You guys doing why you are letting your cardiac killed kid doing all these dangerous things at this young age? You guys crazy?" What I thought, what Shaun White did is not just to win the game, but also prove of these people I was something. I was somebody in this game, in this world. Actually, he did. I'm not. Did you guys see his last competition at this year's Olympic Games? Last competition, last run wasn't perfect. He want to end his dramatically in a fading way to conclude it in his own way, but actually not. This is life. And I think he was very happy with the way he said goodbye to his professional career. He is a foodie. He loved Chinese food. He enjoyed his life at the village. He's so obsessed with Chinese cuisine. And that TikTok or social media, I saw that short clip. Guys, let me introduce what do we have for dinner. This is black pepper, mushroom beef, this garlic broccoli, this kung pao chicken,
the orange chicken,
this dandan noodles, this rice. And eating is my best way to kill time at the village. Also, his best way to say goodbye to his career. Although that was not perfect. I mean, the last run. But once a champion, always a champion. Shaun White, if you hear us, we respect you. You are the champion.
Maybe that's what cured him of his, congenital heart diseases too. Chinese food.
Chinese food, yeah.
Just kidding. I'm not prescribing Chinese food for anyone who's sick, but it could be. It's good for the heart. It's good for the heart. Literally, it's good for heart in a sense. It's good for the soul. The food is your way to the heart.
He is a legend. At the very beginning, what I said, he had heart disease while he was born.
He only had 10% to live until
10% of these people can live beyond 20.
Beyond 20 years old.
How old is he?
That's
35.
incredible.
He claimed Olympic medal for 3 times, and what a way to say goodbye. What a way for his career.
When you have a 10% survival rate, what else do you have to lose, right? Or lose to?
Well, that's why he's got the title now. He's got this famous saying now that we have in the States called the GOAT. I don't know if our viewers know what the GOAT means, but it means the greatest of all time. And his girlfriend actually called him
the best.
The GOAT. The greatest boyfriend of all time.
In the history.
Right. But it was really, he's a really humble person. And when you see him coming down from the slope after having failed his attempt at winning the bronze medal yesterday, he was very emotional, and when he came down the slope you could really see the support that the public and the other athletes were giving to him. That everybody recognized that he's the greatest snowboarder of all time.
I think I saw him yesterday at NFL halftime show yesterday. He enjoyed the life after retiring.
Yeah, he was really looking forward to going. That was his first time joining the Super Bowl event live.
Right, yesterday on Valentine's Day. What a day.
Finally start having fun now in life.
Enjoy the life.
The thing. So a lot of people were asking, what are you going to do now that your career's over? And so he started his own snowboard company called White Space. He's going to maybe start teaching, sponsoring other athletes, maybe become a coach, and
cut with the young junior players.
Right. And he also recently he was selling some snowboards. They sold out in 15 minutes. So we shouldn't worry about Shaun White's future.
We are definitely not worried, and I think he's going to have an extraordinary life ahead. More so, probably more splendid and brilliant than the one he's had so far.
Hats off to the flying tomato then, huh?
The flying tomatoes. We'll be on the
tomatoes.
watch out for flying tomatoes. Chilang, I want to come back to you, Chilang. 除了Shaun之外，你还有没有其他的这个在赛季上的这个偶像？
In addition to Shaun, do you have any idols competing right now in the games?
那当时的时候，你有没有和他们在一起
Do you like a Japanese athlete piano? And have you ever competed against him or the other idols? Have you competed against your idols? My idols are for the men's games, so I never competed against them, but I watched a lot. And how do your idols help you help your career? By watching their moves, I will learn their skills because the details are fully exhibited in the games. We are looking forward to your future performance and achievements. Thank you for sharing your stories with us. Thank you, Qiulang. Happy Lantern Festival.
Talk to you. Today is Lantern Festival and also the last day of Chinese New Year. I want to talk to our reporter Ning Hong, who is in Zhangjiakou right now, one of the two main venues of this year's Beijing Winter Olympics, to see how he's doing there with the Lantern Festival. Hi, Ning Hong.
Hello, Ning Hong.
Hello.
Hi, Ning Hong. I am
here.
just curious, is the lantern or the Lantern Festival in the air right now at the Zhangjiakou site?
Well, I'm afraid the mainstream here is about a competition, and you can see I'm now at a competition venue, and people are all gathering here, waiting for the competition to begin. Because today is kind of a big day because the women's slopestyle was pounded until today because of the heavy snow a few days earlier, and the Lantern Festival is some kind of celebration for us. Also, the last day of Chinese New Year. But for us, today is really important. I mean, too important for competition and for athletes. And here I'm now walking to the venues. Well, actually, I've talked to a lot of people in the last week. Some of them are medal winners, and many of them have all said that this is a really unique competition, especially Winter Olympics, especially during the Chinese New Year. You know, on the first day, the athletes step into the Olympic Village, and they get a present from the Olympic Village. There are Chinese lantern, a lantern made of paper with an LED in the center, and they could show around. Many people actually post the videos on their social network to show these gifts. Also, there are paintings from Chinese students. Also students. Also, the artwork. There are paintings and artworks from them to give every athlete a unique gift. Also, there are names written down and then contact information written down. So, also I talked to Testimony, who posted the video at the opening ceremony of this Winter Olympic. She actually, thinks very unique for her experience, not just participating in the Winter Olympics for the first time, also during the Chinese New Year, which is very unique experience for her as well.
Well, Ning Hong, I'll be looking forward to us checking out these lanterns on social media after we wrap up this show. I just want to talk to you also about, you've been talking to a lot of athletes, obviously, at the event. What have you learned? Any interesting stories with them? Or that you learned from them?
There are many. First of all, yes, there are many. One of the gold medal winner of the men's normal hill jump is ski jumping. He's Japanese ski jumper. He's called Ryu Kobayashi. I talked to him the other day, and he said, the venue was really good, and he won a gold medal after he won a historic gold medal for Japanese team after 50 years in the men's normal hill jump. And also yesterday, he won a silver medal of the teams for his Japanese team. And after the awarding ceremony, he just stacking a dun-dun, the mascot, just not willing to leave, give it to others. This is just holding it all the time, even during the interview. And also I talked to Teresa Johan from Norway, who won her first Olympic gold medal at the year of 34. This Olympics, which is also very unique experience for her because she's been like the world champion for 7 or 8 times, but the only medal that she's missing is the Winter Olympic gold medal. So it's kind of the big dream for her, and finally comes true here in Beijing. Also, she won her second gold medal just a few days later, and in the 10-kilometer skiathlon. Well, one of the most important moments I think is that in the team mixed relay, one of her teammates had fall, and so the team of Norway just fall behind. But she was really. There are 15 athletes ahead of her, and then she made it to finish in number 5. So the entire process was she just catching up, working so hard. And I talked to her yesterday, and she said, well, she likes the pain that's generated by the efforts that she was doing, because she knows that she did her best. We're kind of champions that we all like. Also, not just about champions, it's about people participating in this game. For example, Tessa Mott, the American girl snowboarder, posted a video about her friendship with a volunteer during the opening ceremony, and she said that, the volunteer said, "Welcome to China," and she was entering the bird nest, and she got so emotionalized and burst into tears, because this is kind of a big moment for her. This is her first Olympic experience, and also she has always dreamed of coming to China. So I talked to her the other day, and
we are running out of time right now. I'm sorry that I have to cut you off.
And also talking about the future plans. Maybe she will to China again, and also. There's a girl from Malta.
We're gonna have to say bye to you now, Ning-Hong. We are running out of time. But I just wanted to say before I let you go that we should give you an Olympic medal for scaling those steep hills right there. I hope you're gonna have a terrific Lantern Festival. Thank you very much, Ning-Hong. All right, let's come back to our. It's unfortunate. I think he doesn't hear us right now, but he's obviously he's shared a lot of interesting stories and scaling those steep hills at the same time, and which is why I think we should give him an Olympic medal. Okay, well, it is time for the big reveal of the question number of the second riddle.
I'm a bit disappointed by this riddle, because I was expecting a sport that had
something
to
do with winter,
with
and it
winter
doesn't.
Sports.
Again, okay, so the question again is, what sport can also be eaten?
What can be eaten?
Okay, here we go.
Squash.
Okay, I don't think we're going to be seeing squash in the Winter Olympics very soon.
I was thinking winter melon.
Winter melon.
Something more wintry.
Winter melon.
Anyways, Richard,
yes.
You know, I want to bring it back to us right now and talk about something champions who really define what it means to be champion. Earlier, we talked about McMorris, right? But there are also athletes on the field such as Hanyu Yutsuru.
Yeah, the Japanese player.
Exactly. Tell us about him.
Coincidentally, he held a press conference on Valentine's Day yesterday. He announced he will not retire and continue to play and make many people happy. And a week ago, he had been trying to perform the first Coach Bowl XL in competition, but it didn't fall. Finally came the fourth. He is the first Asian men's single skater to win the gold medal at Olympics. And of course, I want to tell something funny but true story between Han Yu and China's Wang Meng.
It's very which Wang Meng?
My eyes are rulers. That Wang Meng.
My eyes are rulers.
Laser sharp.
So please allow me to explain this funny story. The first story and second story. Okay. The first story to Rome. My eyes are rulers means a game. Wang Meng was the TV commentator with Huang. And the 4 players almost there at the finishing line. It's very difficult to identify the first or second place.
Okay.
It's on one Meng side. It's not necessary to replay. My eyes are rulers. I can identify China first place.
Oh, he's got
That's
the final
first
word.
Story.
Okay.
Funny.
Okay.
And the second story, before the main play, Wang Meng and Han Yu, they made a deal. And Wang Meng proposed that switch. I play your game, you play my game on the same skating rink and see what will happen.
I wonder how that turned out.
Different sport, different athlete. You know, the first turn came on the rink. Different muscle memory tell you to do different things. If I were Wang Meng, you were Han Yu, what would you do? you will jump in circles when you first time see the first turn on the rink. And what would I do? I would get ready to speed up. Imagine that scenery. That's funny.
I was just thinking, we all know that the Earth is round, right? When we were skating, at speed so fast.
Yes.
If you go fast enough, you actually are going in circle.
Yeah,
right?
that's figure skating.
You actually are going in a circle.
That's what Han Yu does on figure skating rink, and he is an artist. He's very popular in China, in Japan, in the world, and I assume he is Michael Jackson on ice.
That is
Michael
a great
Jackson.
way.
Yeah,
That
he's
is
the
a great
dancer.
way of explaining him.
Wow. Ballet
He is-
dancer on the rink.
So also a goat then.
Also, goats.
Great
We have
of all
many
time.
goats. This Winter Olympics, we see many goats.
Don't
Mountain
retire.
goats, winter
don't
goats.
retire.
And what about? Did you watch on a speak skater? Gao Tingyu's funny interview on Sunday.
Yes, that's Sunday.
That was viral
That's
all over the
interesting,
place.
Funny.
I'm missing something here also. What happened?
Yeah, I will give you some lesson. That's funny. And a reporter asked people in the team all have different characters. I was wondering, how would you describe your own character to Gao? Gao thought a couple of seconds. I think I'm a little bit guru. Guru. And the whole media room fell into silence because I don't think the media official or interpreter could understand and translate into
Because
accurate Chinese.
she's probably from other regions. of China, like
other than
northeastern
northeastern
China.
of China. And I thought I will use the word maverick to describe his own character. And afterwards, I remarked jokingly there were 4 official languages used in Beijing Winter Olympic Games: French, English, Mandarin, and Northeastern Mandarin.
Northeastern
How's your Northeastern Mandarin?
I was born in northeastern China, so I mean that's like my native tongue.
Yeah,
right?
I have no idea.
It's my native tongue.
Julian, and you can speak fluent English,
Guys,
French, fluent Northeastern Mandarin, and Mandarin.
Speaking of French, it is time to say au revoir because we have officially
revoir.
pulled into the station. I'm just so glad to be joined by all of you guys here today. On behalf of our entire crew, I want to wish everyone a happy Lantern Festival, and we'll see you back again here on our Winter Games Express tomorrow. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Looking ahead to Tuesday, February 15th, 9 golds will be up for grabs in 7 competitions. First, at 9:30 a.m., freestyle skier Guai Ling, who won her maiden Olympic gold medal in last week's women's big air, will try to double her pleasure by competing in the slopestyle at the Genting Snow Park. Meanwhile, snowboarding's women's big air will take place at the Shogun Complex. Then, at 1 p.m. in the afternoon, China's talented young snowboarder Sui Ming, who earned silver in the men's slopestyle, will battle for gold in the big air. Elsewhere in the afternoon, 2 golds will be offered at the ice ribbon in speed skating's women's and men's team pursuit finals. At 5 p.m., biathlon will have another gold at stake in the men's 4x7.5 kilometer relay, before the evening will see 2 more golds decided in Nordic Combine's individual large hill, as well as the 2-man bobsleigh.